So this is a broad political question, but I'm very curious and intrigued by the events in Iran with Trump and eliminating the Ayatollah. Just from a biblical standpoint, and I'm not saying end of time or anything, what's your thoughts on all of that? Because, you know, you've kind of cut the head off the snake in a way by dealing with them and to the level that he has. So I'm just kind of curious, what's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts regarding Iran, this has been going on for 47 years.
Right.
And I was in high school when I guess it was a senior in high school when they stormed the embassy and took, I want to say it was 50 hostages, somewhere around there, for 444 days. A violation of international law. By the way, who green-lighted the Ayatollah? Jimmy Carter.
I don't know.
Jimmy Carter did, okay? Jimmy Carter, nice man, terrible president. He green-lighted the Ayatollah to come in there for a number of reasons. The Shah was taken out, came back to the United States, ultimately died here, I think. He had cancer. But they had a constitutional monarchy. Persia, Iran was not like Iraq. Persia had a rich history. In fact, they used to make Cadillacs in Iran. They had a rich history. But when the Ayatollah took over and they went Islamic with Sharia law, the people have been suffering under that regime for 47 years. They've been warring on the West ever since then, through Hezbollah, through the Houthis, through Hamas. And every president up to Trump said, yeah, we got to do something about this. They can't get a nuclear weapon. Trump finally decides to do something about it. Everyone's going, you shouldn't have done it. It's a war of choice. Oh, okay, well, look. If the Iranians ever get a nuclear weapon, they, by their own admission, will use it. Not that they've said they're going to use it, but they want to bring in I mean, I haven't explicitly said it, but we're the great Satan and Israel's the little Satan. They want to bring in the 12th Imam, and some of them think they can bring in the 12th Imam by starting a world conflict.
What is that?
It's their supposed eschatology. The 12th Imam is going to come in and reestablish the caliphate, and we're all going to live under the wonderful rule of Sharia law. All right? So who knows where this is going to go? I have no idea. But one of the problems is that, unlike America, the Iranians don't have weapons themselves. In order for a regime change to take place, the military is going to have to turn on the mullahs. And they'll probably do that if they stop getting paid at some point. So it could be an economic situation where they kind of have to wait them out until the military goes, enough of this, we need new leadership. So who knows if or when that's going to happen. But at least to this point, much of their capabilities have been destroyed. Not all of them. But we couldn't get into a situation, in my view, like we got in with North Korea. North Korea had enough conventional forces that they could take time to build up their nuclear arsenal, because if we tried to take them out, they would threaten to take out South Korea. Now, as evil as North Korea is, they don't have this eschatology that the Shia Muslims do, thinking that if we get involved in a war, we can bring in the caliphate. So North Korea has nukes, even though they're crazy and they're atheistic and they're awful to Christians. They don't have this eschatology that the Iranians have, or the Shia have, not all the Iranians, obviously. So at some point, someone had to make a move to ensure that they don't get that weapon. And although they're saying, oh, we're not trying to build a weapon, they're admitting that their enriched uranium is a mile below the Earth. You don't need enriched uranium to have a nuclear power plant. You need it to build a weapon, though. Why are they enriching uranium if they're not trying to get a nuclear weapon?